Hi guys, welcome back. So at first, I plan to make a live session to answer some questions today. So I have sent out a message on Discord group and asked for questions that need me to answer. But I realized that I need to go through a verification process first, so I have to wait a little bit first. So maybe tomorrow night I can do that. Guys, I'm new to this. Everything is new for me, so I'm still trying to figure out a lot of things. And I hate to disappoint. That's why now I'm gonna take out some questions and hopefully I can give an answer before the live tomorrow. First question from JL regarding the market crash or correction. There is a lot of speculations on an imminent market crash in 2021 due to a lot of money printing due to the stimulus and stock market bubble at all-time high. I know there is no way to predict this. I just want to know what's your take on the situation and what's your strategy for it. If there is ever a crash coming, so we can all emerge as winners together as an FMI community. Okay. As I said before, I think the possibility of a market crash right now it's very low because we just had a new president in US. So I would think it's unlikely to have a crash right after. As we see, we just had seen a correction and it's quite obvious that there are institutions trying to protect the market by pulling up the blue chips, the FANG, as long as someone is here protecting the market. For now, I don't think we are seeing a market crash right now. But I do expect to see a market correction as we are quite heated in certain sectors. And I would think a correction doesn't have to be a bad thing. It could be very healthy. And it's possible that it's just something like a sector rotation from the heated sector. As I have explained in my video about airline, because I do think there is a need to rotate the sector from some heated sector into, for example, airline and some recovery and even MJ. And I think we did see that in the last week. We have seen that some of the airline stocks had been growing and also some of the MJ stocks had been growing last week. And let's say a very heavy correction / market crash happens. What I would do is that I would allocate my portfolio. I would reevaluate my portfolio and I would take the chance to change some of my stocks and try to allocate my money into something I want more. Like, for example, EH and NIO. I believe when these stocks start to fall, a lot of the institutions would be there to catch the falling knife. At the moment, when they see signs of the falling has slowed down. So I do think if there is a market crash, these kind of stocks would be the first ones to bounce back up first. Just like we saw Tesla in March, it bounced up very fast in April and May. And also Amazon. As we should know, the global financial crisis that happened in 2007 all the way to bottom at 2009. And if we look at Amazon stock, it first dropped with the whole market and then it bounced off quickly. And even though the whole market bottomed in March 2009, Amazon did not fall back down. So when the market is not doing well, it's more important to know what company and what stocks would do well, because these companies would be affected by the market crash much less than the other companies. They are high growth stocks. They are in the sunrise industry. But if you compare to, let's say, an oil company, for example, back then in 2007 to 2009, ExxonMobil was the biggest company on the US stock exchange with the biggest market cap. And now it got kicked out by the Dow Jones. This is what I would call it's almost like a sunset industry. So I think every market crash should be a wash between different industries. It's a speed up for the sunset industry to go down, and at the same time a speed up for the sunrise industry to go up. But of course, it's not because anything that is in a sunrise industry that means we can just keep chasing. Because the fact that it's in a rising industry does not mean that there is no bubble in the valuation. This is why when a sector gets overheated, people tend to forget about the companies and just chase in whatever companies that's in this industry or anything related to this industry. And this is a danger signal to me, and I will try to stay away from it. So that's how I make my portfolio more resistant, more crash protected. I try to get into the stocks that I think it's under the shadow, undervalued, or still have a long way to grow. So when a crash really does happen, hopefully my portfolio can drop less, and at the same time I can relocate my money into something I believe even more. So this way I'm not always worried about a correction or market crash that could happen anytime soon, because I feel more prepared for it. Okay, hope that answered to your questions and make you less worried about this. And next question is Success Finder's question. First of all, thanks for taking the time to fill these questions. I'm enjoying your channel and unique perspective on NIO specifically. Thank you. I know you believe in NIO as much as I do based on your videos. I've done my DD and see a very bright future for them. Good. But I'm curious on what it would take for you to no longer believe in NIO and sell your shares. I always see bullish videos all over YouTube, but I, as an investor, want to hear the other side as well. That's actually a good question. What would make me not believe in NIO anymore and start to sell out my shares? Maybe there will be a few circumstances. One is that NIO's business model has changed in a way that I don't agree with and I don't see the future. And two is that Li Bin has stepped down from the CEO position and is replaced by someone else that doesn't share the same vision. And number three is that if the government takes more share and more control of NIO's company, it would be something I don't quite like to see as a young company, and also it would affect the international expansion for NIO. I think it is one of the biggest reasons why NIO is buying back shares from the Chinese government. I think it might have something to do with the fact that they want to expand to international markets, especially the US market. For the government to have less share, it would be a very good thing, I think. And then number four, for me to give up my belief on NIO would be the fact that I see them stop spending on R&D expense, but give out dividend, for example. That would be a dangerous signal for me again. But I don't think NIO would do that anytime soon, because they are still growing so fast and they need to do a lot of R&D to improve the products and their technology. So right now, I don't see this happening. So I've given 4 scenarios that I think I would no longer believe in NIO. I hope they don't happen anytime soon, because I do want to go long with NIO. I'm very excited with this company. So I hope that answered to your question. Next question is from Tony the Scot. A quick introduction on yourself, background, why you started your YouTube channel, and what you hope to achieve with your channel. That's a good question again. So first of all, I did do an introduction in one of my videos before. I can put the link here. So if you don't know my background, you can check more there. But here I can add a little bit more to that. I have developed my strategy on stock market, and so far I'm very enjoying my gain, and I would like to share my perspective on YouTube. I love Kathy Wood from ARK Invest. I really like that she shares a lot of things on social media. It can help a lot of people. She has very good vision for the future, very forward thinking, and I can learn a lot from her. But at the same time, she might also have a little bit of a blind spot in the emerging market. And at the same time, a lot of the negative sentiments were towards Chinese companies because of a lot of political issues. And I think because of so many issues that happen one after the other, it made a lot of the stocks undervalued. And I thought I might be able to find out some hidden gem. Like for example, YSG. I have been buying heavily on YSG last year in December, and I really wonder why there was no buzz around it. And also EH, at that time not many people knew about EH, but I thought it's such a great company. There are many thinkings around NIO that I gather, and I don't find it much on YouTube. And also QS and Luckin Coffee are the two stocks that I think the YouTube has a lot of misunderstanding on it. So these have pushed me into opening a YouTube channel. And I had really no idea whether my channel can grow at all. And if you have watched my first video last month, in the beginning of January, you would really know that I expected the whole time I might be just talking to myself. But then it turned out I got so many supporters. Thank you so much. This was really out of my expectation at first. Okay, next question from Max Discord. Hi Joyce, thanks for the video. They are super helpful. Thank you. Most of your recommendations are heavy on China. Will there be any problems if there is any future negative sentiments or any problem between US and China? Yes, and it's because there were so much negative sentiments towards Chinese stocks. That's why we were able to pick up a lot of the shares at a very cheap price. So if anything like this, any bad news that happens again, I would say, again, treat it like a Black Friday event, and you would thank yourself after a few years. Because these kind of political news, they only affect the sentiments. The sentiments does not reflect on the company's fundamentals. That's why the news, one after the other, only scare away the retail investors. And I see the institutions just kept buying in. It's because when there is fear, that's where I can feel greedy. The only way I would sell a stock based on a bad news is when the news does affect the company's fundamentals. So when you see news like this, you have to right away think about whether this affects deeply the structure of the company, the business model of the company, the financial situation of the company, and so on. If none of this are affected, then I would usually treat it like a Black Friday sale. Okay, and last question from K2046. Will you consider posting your portfolio or start a portfolio for the members? Well, if you have been following my videos, you should know that I have 5 to 6 accounts. I'm opening a 6th account right now. So right now, it may not be ideal for me to keep updating my portfolio every time because I do make daily transactions sometimes. So it might be a little bit confusing when I start posting this, but I share my holding on my videos, my daily videos, and also I share all my activities on the Discord, so you can see everything that I just made. And for my total holding of a stock, I usually would share it in the video. would I start a portfolio? I haven't thought about this yet, but maybe in the future. Okay, those are the popular questions I took out from the Discord. I suppose many of you might share the same questions, and I hope I answer your questions. And I really hope I can figure this live thing by tomorrow so I can be live to answer more of your questions tomorrow. And if you have enjoyed this video, please give me a big like and write me a great comment. And I will see you tomorrow. That's it, guys. Hope you can find my video helpful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and give me a big like. Thank you.